The terms bargain, cheap, affordable, these are all relative terms that mean different things to different people. Today we're taking a look at watches that I think are very well priced for what they offer. Their design, their quality, and their price point really don't match up. These are watches that should cost a lot more money, however they don't. I have 10 watches to go through. They are in no particular order. So let's start with my first pick on what should be more expensive watches that are actually somewhat affordable. The first watch on this list is a watch from one of my favorite historic watch companies. It's Vulcane. This is the Nautic Skin Diver. There are a few reasons why I think this watch should cost more than it actually does, but the number one reason is its design. It gets a beautiful bracelet that is extremely unique to the Vulcane Skin Diver. It gets a solid link bracelet. All of those links are really nicely finished. There's really beautiful polished edges on there. You get solid end links, and of course, on the fly micro adjust. You get screwed links, all of the bells and whistles that you would expect from a high-end watch. You also get a watch that's powered by an ETA movement, 200 meters of water resistance, a beautiful brushed dial, ceramic bezel. However, this watch still costs under $2,000. If you want it on a strap, their straps are very nice. It costs under $1,600. These are fantastic watches for the price, and I highly recommend getting them on a bracelet. Next is a watch that just recently was announced. This is the new Fears and Studio Underdog collaboration. They came out with a Brunswick that gets a beautiful green gradient dial. They're calling it the Gimlet. It's powered by a Sellita movement. It is the Sellita SW210. They're not making a lot of these watches. I believe there's only going to be about 200 pieces, and they will only be available at British Watchmakers Day in March in London. However, if they don't sell out there, if all 200 don't sell out, they will sell these online. These will be $1,200. They get a sapphire dial, and that dial is fully loomed, and it is a very bright, beautiful dial. Just a very clean design, very similar to what you would get from Studio Underdog. You're getting both of the brand's DNA in this watch. It's 38 millimeters, and you're getting that hand-wound movement. Very cool watch and a very good price of $1,200. You're getting something pretty special for a very good price. I really do think that this is a great collaboration, and I think it should cost more money, but they kept it at $1,200. For one reason or another, they could have sold this for more. They didn't. I'm really happy that they didn't, and hopefully they do something like this again in the future. One of the most affordable watches on this list is a Timex. It's the Timex 1983 E-line. This is a reissue of the original E-line from 1983. However, they made it almost exactly the same as that original E-line. You're getting a stretchy stainless steel bracelet. You're getting a TV screen case, an acrylic crystal, a silver dial, and they've made it in a few different colors now. These come in at around $219, and they look so good on wrist. I have a few groups that I'm in where I post pictures of watches that I'm wearing on a regular basis, and whenever I post this Timex, people absolutely love it, and I get a lot of compliments specifically on the bracelet. Even though this is a stretchy bracelet, it looks fantastic. It does integrate to the case very well. And I have to say, it looks a lot more expensive than it actually is. It gets an automatic Miyota movement, and it costs $219. Not many watches that look this good for such a good price. The next watch on this list is the most expensive watch that this brand currently offers. It's Mr. Jones watches. If you're not familiar with Mr. Jones, they make some pretty avant-garde watches, some really weird cases as well. They make 3 different sizes. All of their watches have some sort of gimmick. They tell the time in a different way. They have very odd ways of displaying the time. There's jump hours, there's discs, there's robots, there's birds. There's a lot going on some of these watches. They are sometimes pretty busy, but all of them are very, very creative. And the watch that I'm talking about, like I said, is their most expensive watch. And the reason is because they are using a Sellita SW200 with a Christopher Ward module on top. It's their jump hour module, the same module that they used in their own jump hour watch. They used it with Fears as well, and it's the base for the Bel Canto. This is a watch that costs under $3,000. It's the Sphinx, and it is really cool. The dial is made by an artist, so there's an artist in London who actually designed this dial. It is weird, it's crazy, it's psychedelic, and it's nothing like you've seen before. It gets somewhat of a traditional case, even for Mr. Jones, but I have to say, this is an incredibly cool watch at a very good price with a mechanical jump hour made by a brand who make somewhat higher end watches now. This is a 40mm case. It's a wearable piece of art and technically a Christopher Ward jump hour, which is pretty damn cool. The next watch is a watch that I recently featured here on my channel. It is the Manilone G2. This is a watch that is incredibly spec'd for what you're paying. These watches cost around $800. I think right now, if you go on their website, it's around $850. It's a tourbillon in an integrated bracelet design. You get to see the movement from the back, and it's actually finished really nicely. You get a fire enameled dial. So it's a beautiful fire enamel or grand few dial. And you're also getting a guilloche pattern on that dial, which is done by machine. However, it's very intricate and very clean. And with that grand fou enamel on top, it is beautiful and very, very dynamic. These are in around 41 or 42 millimeters. You do get to see that tourbillon, of course, from the front. There is a cutout where there is a flying tourbillon. These are on the larger side and do wear a little bit large because they're integrated bracelets and they are around 41 millimeters. But for what you're getting here, for well under $1,000, it's an incredible bargain in my opinion. And again, I said this in the video that I made for it. If this was Swiss, it would cost $100,000, but since it's made in China, it cost $800 and change, and it's so good looking. It's incredible what you can get these days for under $1,000. The next watch on this list is the most expensive watch on this list, coming in at $4,450, but what you're getting here is something completely different from what you normally see from every other brand. It is a Rado, and I don't talk about Rado here on my channel very often. However, when they came out with the Anatom, again, this is a re-release of their 1983 design. It's a tank. It comes in at 32.5 millimeters in their plasma ceramic. I took notice because this is a very good looking, very clean looking watch that comes in a couple of different colors, but my favorite is the silver and PVD gold. So the PVD gold is stainless steel. So those are stainless steel components mixed in with the ceramic that they're using. It is plasma ceramic. You're getting an integrated bracelet look. These are automatic. You're getting an ETA movement because they are part of the ETA group. However, this looks like a Piaget or something like that. Something more expensive, like a cocktail watch from the 1970s, but modernized with very modern materials. The dials are very clean. Overall, just a very clean looking dress watch that bats way above its price point. Also, these get some really beautiful sapphire crystals that are molded to the case and almost blend perfectly with that ceramic. That's what Rado is known for making watches like this. Very special ceramic watches, very technical watches with a lot of great technology, but at the same time, extremely elegant. Coming in at $4,450. It is more expensive than any other watch on this list, but definitely worth it if you want something radically different from everything else out there. Hands down, one of my favorite watches on this list, next to that Vulcane Nautic Skin Diver, it is the Nevada Grenchen Chrono Sport. I love the dial on this watch, but I also love the case, the bracelet, but it is the dial that gets the most attention on this watch because of who made it. Singer is a company that made dials in the 1960s and 70s, and even earlier than that, and they designed this dial. However, they also designed dials for watches like the Newman Daytona. But that's not only what they did. They also made some pretty incredible dials like the Skipper from Tag Heuer and a few Speedmaster dials. So they made some pretty incredible and very famous dials, and this is one of them. And of course, this is a reissue, so it's not directly made by Singer anymore or designed by Singer. This is a reissue of that original watch, but they kept it exactly the same as the original. You're getting a couple of different colors maybe, but that's really it. These are beautiful 38 millimeter chronographs that are powered by a Valjoux movement, by the way, a Valjoux 7750, which is different. It's different these days to get a Valjoux 7750. Usually you're hearing Sellita SW500 or something like that. This is actually getting a Valjoux movement. So, well, that means it's a little bit more special, I guess, than a Sellita because it's the original. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. This also gets 200 meters of water resistance. This is a chronograph with 200 meters of water resistance. That's pretty damn good. This is a very good looking watch with a beautiful dial, a beautiful case, a beautiful bracelet, and overall, one of the coolest designs that they have reissued ever since reviving the brand, and I am very happy that they came out with this watch. The next watch is another watch that you probably would not think has 200 meters of water resistance like the previous watch that we were talking about, the Chrono Sport. However, Moles & Co. came out with their integrated bracelet watch this year, the 369, and it gets 200 meters of water resistance. It also gets a beautiful case and a beautiful bracelet that reminds me a lot of much more expensive watches, like a Laurent Ferrier Sport. It gets on-the-fly micro adjust, solid links that get polished all around, beautiful brushing on them, a square shape, and very clean dials. They also put lume blocks on the versions that are lumed, which are awesome. I have the black dial with the gold blocks. So these are gold PVD blocks on there. Obviously the price doesn't warrant real gold, but for $1,500, these watches look way more expensive than they actually are. You're getting a Sellita SW200. You're getting 200 meters of water resistance. They're 39 millimeters. Beautiful integrated bracelet case, on the fly micro adjust. It's just a gorgeous watch for $1,500, and I highly recommend it for someone who's looking for an original design, not a Gerald Genta copy at this price point. They want something that is an original design, and they want something special. Definitely check out the Moles & Co. 369. The next brand on this list is offering a watch that is probably one of the biggest bargains on this list, hands down. It is from Zelos. This is their new Sky Raider 40 in titanium. This is a full titanium case. It's a hardened titanium case and bracelet. You're getting on the fly micro adjust, screwed links, a bracelet that looks like no other bracelet that you've seen before. It fits the case perfectly. It really does fit very well with the design overall. You're getting a very special movement in this watch. It is a Marvin 700. These are old stock movements. What they did was they got a stockpile of these, completely overhauled them, made them skeletonized, darkened the movements, and then put them into these titanium cases. These are a very limited run of watches that are selling for around $1,700 to $1,800, depending on the version. There's one version that's a little bit more expensive, but there's a tantalum version and a TI Damascus version. So all of them are beautiful and they're all getting the exact same movement. However, just different materials at different price points. I have the standard version with the hardened titanium on a bracelet. And I have to say, the bracelet is incredible. The look overall is incredible. For the price point, there really is no watch out there that offers you this much at such a good price. A bespoke bracelet, a very vintage, interesting movement that has been completely overhauled and made into something completely different from its original intent. And I think that's just really cool. I really love what they did here, and I highly recommend checking out Zelos for watches specifically like this. This is a high-end independent watch that comes in under $2,000. Incredible. The last watch on this list, and one of the most interesting watches on this list, because it comes from a brand that you really wouldn't expect such a high-end watch from. It's a Timex. It's the new Giorgio Galli, the S2 Ti. This is their attempt at a high-end watch, and I think they pulled it off. You're getting a Sellita SW200 with a custom rotor. You can see it from the back. It's in titanium, so the case is in titanium. The bracelet's in titanium as well, and you're getting a carbon core to that titanium case. You can actually see the carbon fiber. It's from the side. It has a cutout that you can see the carbon there, and the lugs are cut out, and all of the bracelet has cutouts on the side of each one of the links. There's a special trick to the bracelet. They use a toolless link removal system that they have patented. They've never used this in any other watch, but all of a sudden, now that they've come out with this watch, it has that system. And I think they'll use this, hopefully they'll use this in other watches. It's pretty damn cool what they've done. And I've actually got to see it hands-on. It's insane. It's really a very, very cool system. The dials here are a little bit plain. They are very simple. Some people may not like it, but what they were going for here was simplicity. They could have done something more. They decided not to. I like the original dial on the S1 when they came out with that a long time ago. I really loved how clean those dials were. This is also very clean, but at the same time, I could see how people may not like it. I do like that S1 dial better. So if I had one complaint, it would be about the dial on this watch. It gets a huge sapphire crystal that covers the entire dial and basically most of what would be the bezel. So it's a large sapphire crystal. They put a lot of thought and a lot of effort and a lot of money into the design of this watch, and I think it has paid off. However, it is on the more expensive side. This is an almost $2,000 Timex. That's a lot of money for a Timex, but if it had any other name from any other major brand, it would cost way more money. That is just my opinion. Based on what you're getting from the bracelet and the movement and the fact that it's in full titanium and how intricate the case is and the bracelet is with all of those cutouts on the sides, it's pretty difficult to make. It would be a very expensive watch from any other brand. And I'm talking about $5,000 or $10,000, depending on the name that you put on it. But since it has Timex, it costs $1,950. So yes, it is very expensive, but I think you are getting a lot for your money. Anyway, guys, that's my list. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section below. There are plenty of watches out there like these watches that offer specs and quality that are way higher than their price point. And vice versa. There are watches out there that offer specs and quality that are really lower than their price point. Maybe I'll make a video about that next time. Tell me down in the comment section if you would like to see a video like that. If you know any other watches that you think offer higher quality and design than their price point, tell me down in the comment section. And vice versa. Tell me watches that you think don't offer such great quality. Tell me down in the comment section below. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. I will catch you guys in the next video.